In-depth coverage of the top stories and breaking news when it happens. News Radio 1080 KRLD.
Now, remote working is not just tough on the workers right now, but the managers as well. A new study indicating 40% of supervisors expressed low self-confidence in their ability to manage workers from a remote location. We're joined by workplace expert Cheri Perry on the KRLD Newsline. So what advice do you have for managers right now?
One of the things that really, really good managers can do is just be very transparent with their team. A lot of times when you share the struggle, you make that struggle easier for everybody involved. And so if you're making comments like, listen, this remote workplace scenario is a little new for us, let's make sure that we're doing probably three things. One, make the time to reset and reconnect with your team. Talk to each of your team members that you are responsible for, working with, and make sure that you're asking them some great questions and not just assuming what the challenges are. So maybe questions like, hey, what's working remotely? What are you struggling with? And are there any areas where I might be able to help you? And just as a good manager, really open your ears to listening, because sometimes as managers, I think we have the answers, but a lot of times, we don't really know until we get to the bottom of it with the team members. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. What do you think, especially during this time, is a warning sign that you might have a problem? 95% of those workers out there, they're doing everything they should be doing, but what are warning signs we should be looking for here?
Well, there's all kinds of funny warning signs. You have to be, are people showing up on your Zoom meetings inappropriately, for an example? Maybe they're not dressed for business. Maybe they're making little comments that might seem normal in a workplace, but now without the whole atmosphere around them in an office, it just seems a little weird. So you have to have a little humor when you're dealing with these things. But one of the ways that you can do it is really clarify your expectations, because one of the biggest challenges with this remote workplace scenario is that if we were struggling with communication before when we worked in the same office, man, that's going to be absolutely magnified when somebody is working remotely. So clarifying expectations is a little bit like adding bumpers when you go bowling, making sure that you give your team members as many clarifications as possible. This is what time the meeting starts. This is what time I expect you to be on the screen. This is how I expect you to be dressed, and so on and so forth.
That is workplace expert Cheri Perry.